Welcome back to No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. Our guests today are doing their thing on and off the court. They won a chip as teammates with the Las Vegas Aces last season. Now they're teaming up to star in your new favorite comedy series, The Syd TP Show, premieres September 18th on Ryan Reynolds' Maximum Effort channel, co-produced with Fubo and Together. Syd, Colson, and Theresa Plaisance, we appreciate y'all pulling up and welcome to the family.
What up? What it do?
Thank you for having us.
Listen, I've been on Syd for what? How long has it been now? 2 years that like you need to be on TV. Something. She's too funny. Like he's funny. I'd be like, oh, she's hilarious.
Thank you, Gil. I appreciate that.
Well, we got a lot to discuss, but before we do, Maximum Effort channel is available on the Fubo streaming app with a paid subscription. You can also watch 200 plus live TV and sports channels without cable. So if your current cable provider is beefing with Mickey Mouse, like mine is, make your next move your best move and get down with Fubo. So let's get into this. So, I got to do the ad reads before we get it cracking. Always got to show love. Fubo pay the bill, so got to give them their love. So last season was y'all first year playing together, but so how did y'all end up becoming besties so quickly?
When we went on that first road trip, we were in my room and we were just like chopping it up, but we were in there talking for like 4 hours. Time just flew by, but when you like meet somebody and it just feels like, all right, this is somebody that I've known for a long time. We were kind of just like kindred spirits. And so we quickly like bonded over just like our worldviews, our family situations, like basketball trickeries. We're the goofy ones on the team and we just clicked for real.
We knew that the second that we saw that, the way that we can get on other people's nerves was very similar in how we go about our lives. We knew that the team was in for a very, very long season. Just how quickly we hit it off. Everybody even immediately was asking like, how long have you known each other? Like you had to have known each other for so long, when in the reality of things, we have met in crossing, just like playing each other or something like that, but never like really held a full conversation. So that's how it all came together.
People don't understand how you need certain personalities on a team, right? Sometimes when you have teams, you got people that are so focused, right, that they don't know how to enjoy a locker room in the downtime. So having those funnies, those sillies, those goofballs that can, break up tension is always valuable, for any winning team.
No facts. You think about like Kobe has said, I forgot what like documentary or something this was, but when they were on the USA team, him and LeBron was acting in real goofy. Mm-hmm. Obviously, LeBron was younger then, but obviously LeBron was on his way to being a star, and he was very dominant at the time. But him and Kobe just went differently.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like being like Bulls want to win, but it don't mean that you're somebody who don't take basketball seriously because you're having fun at the same time. Like very much when we step on the court, we're serious, but at the same time, like I want to enjoy what I'm doing.
And so many times, like, we played overseas, we played in leagues outside the W, and, what you're asked to do as your role going to a team where you're that star player versus what you're asked to do in your role in the W, it might look completely different for some people. And for us, it does. We carry a heavy load when it comes to, off court, overseas teams, AU teams, things like that. But, when you come in the W, I think like the biggest part of winning the championship, especially I've been in the league 10 years, sitting on so many rosters with just like talented players. And the championship has never been the sight until this past season where, you just see that championships are built in the locker room within your chemistry, and that stuff trickles on court, and it trickles just to how you can interact with one another in adversity, and also like when you're sitting on top of the world. So it was just a really awesome experience, and being able to meet Syd through it all was really cool, I guess.
So TP, you said you guys both have the ability to annoy people, annoy teammates in the same way. Yeah. Who is the easiest player or coach on the squad to annoy?
I think if I had to say, probably Chelsea Gray. if I'm wrong, Chelsea Gray has a level 0 tolerance for Syd, and I think she has maybe a 1 or 2 for me. So Chelsea Gray for sure would be the easiest person to annoy, both on and off the court.
She is. Chelsea's also hilarious. we weren't
Hilarious.
till last year. She's really funny, and like I did this whole thing with her last year, like acting like we were friends, like from the jump, just to annoy her. But like now, her family calls me best friend when they see me. But she's hilarious, and like the closer that we got, actually, I found out like she might want to act. So I'm like, I knew I really had you pegged. Like I knew that we had similarities, even though I was just with you.
She hates that she loves you, Syd. She hates that she loves you.
Right.
Like I got a sense of like who you were on the team when, I guess when you first got there, and it was Asia, and she was like, I didn't think I was supposed to see you till like next week. Why are you here? Just that whole interaction. I was like, okay, this is hilarious. Oh, this is it.
It's them two. We irk them. We irk them real bad.
Honestly, the team is really funny. I'd say as a whole, on average, that roster last year was really, really funny. Asia and Chelsea are up there with the one-liners and just like with their quick hitters, their jabs. Syd has been on the back end of a few of those. I'm sure we both have. But it's good times, and they both hate that they love it so much and honestly look for more irritation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Aces. Y'all won the championship last year. Coming into this year, y'all set the record for most wins in the season, number one seed in the playoffs. But no team has gone back-to-back since the Sparks, I think, 20 years ago. So everybody wants to smoke. So what's the mindset heading into the postseason as defending champs?
Yeah, I think like the playoffs start in a few days, and it's just all about the process still, like which is a very cliche thing for people to hear in sports, but it's really like you just got to keep playing every possession, every quarter, like how we've been playing and trying to improve. Like this is when you're supposed to be playing your best basketball. And so just trying to make sure that we're moving like in an upward direction and not backsliding. And then I think if we're doing that and like playing well together, the result is going to be like what we need it to be.
So let's talk a little bit about just championships in general. I don't know if y'all got to see Noah Lyles' comments, but he had a bunch of NBA players in their feelings after saying the NBA champion shouldn't call themselves the world champion. But since we got two WNBA champions here, we need to know, can the WNBA champions call themselves the world champions?
Is it a little different for you guys because you guys play on both sides of the water? So because you guys play, your season ends here, you go over there, when would realistically, when would a championship against both sides actually happen? And what side do you actually play on?
I don't think there's really there's not a way to be able to compete with like your teams because you have players that are overlapping. Like you have some players in the W that will play for EuroLeague teams, and there's some players that go to China. There's some players that go to Australia, what have you. But what I can say about like calling world champions is that every women's league in the world will compare themselves to the WNBA. Therefore, I feel like the WNBA is the highest talent, the most competitive, the best league in the world. So if you take like the WNBA champions and you put them against any other champion, I feel like, maybe that's why we call it a game, just see how it happens. But I would say that, more times than not, it would favor towards the WNBA champion side.
Same here. Like, I don't even know why it was even, like, I understood what he was saying, right? Because you don't play against everyone, you shouldn't be able to call yourselves, world champs. But in theory,
right.
There's no actual, like, we all play at the same time. So Denver Nuggets is the champs this year, right?
Yeah.
Whoever the champs are in whatever league, there's no NBA player on there. They're in the NBA still. So, when we play this game in June, right, you got, players who probably play D2, average 14 is the starting 1, 2, and 3 that's American. There's no actual real NBA talent, so they're getting mopped up, right? So that's not really a thing that should even be considered. Like, Luka was the best player on his team at 16 years old.
Yeah.
After they won a championship, they would have been playing with Kevin Durant, Clay, and Curry. Like, come on. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
So, I get what he was trying to say, but, it's...
Also, when it comes to, like, basketball and, like, being the best in the world, we call those gold medalists, right? In the women's side, we have a lot of gold medalists. So they're world champions, but that's not necessarily, like, their team. This team comes together for a week at a time, if that, a few days at a time, periodically throughout the year to prepare for them showing up to Worlds, them showing up to the Olympics and things like that, there's not a lot of time that our dream team, our Olympic team, is sitting practicing as a team. Now imagine if that group of players spent the amount of time that other national teams spend together working, building chemistry, what have you. We're just ungodly talented, and we have team players that are willing to play together to win gold medals. On the women's side, now I can't speak the same for the men right now. We can look over that for a sec, but in terms of world champs, like I said, comparing everybody's best team to who the WNBA's best team is would be a pretty hard comparison.
Yeah, it's coming from someone who's in a single sport. He's not representing technically the USA. He's representing himself and his club team. See, track are club teams. So when they do when they do that 4x1 relay or the 4x4, they actually don't get along with each other because they've been beefing all year trying to get to the Olympics. So, if I have my own 4x4 relay and you guys end up beating out my friends, I really don't like y'all like that, right? Yeah. We're going to win the gold together, and I got to come back to my 3 friends who's mad that they times didn't make it. Right? So we technically at war. So when you look at how they interact with each other, they don't like each other. Remember, was it Takari Richardson? When she lost, the other American girls on her relay team was laughing at her. Yeah, because she's been enemies to them the whole time. So they was happy she lost. So it's coming from one of those like individual selfish minds. And I'm like, man, listen, if there was individual like things to do inside the Olympics for Americans, like the 3-point shooting contest and skills challenge, dunk contest. Oh yeah, let us be selfish for a little bit.
So when we talk about Team USA on the women's side, I think women have won the last 4 World Cups. TP, you alluded to it. Men's side, little musty, little dusty. Finished 4th. I think lost to Lithuania, lost to Germany, lost to Canada. But news broke recently that LeBron said he's going to rally up the Avengers, bring that super team together. Gil, I know you have some thoughts, but what do y'all think about just Team USA? Gil, I think you said the F squad. I'm gonna say, they got an F. They didn't mess up. You're right. You was right. But what do you think about just that F squad versus now the troops all coming together? Steph, KD, allegedly LeBron, and putting that team together.
On the women's side, for the longest time, women have played for like the passion of the game and like loving their sport. Like we didn't really have like the funds behind it, right? So for the most time, throughout up until probably this last CBA where, there's a little bit more money in some people's pockets, people were playing for, what they wanted their career to look like. So we have decorated Olympians with 4 gold medals already. And for the guys, you don't see anybody with I don't even think somebody came back for a second. Maybe that's currently on Melo.
Yeah, Melo.
So you have
3.
1. Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah, Melo has 3.
So you have one guy with 3 when we can name like 3 or 4 or 5 different players that have 3+. So for the women, they stick around and we build that same team based off players, and really retirement is what pushes some of the players out. With the guys, it seems like there's new rosters every year. You don't know who wants to show up, who doesn't. So it's good to see the dream team coming back together.
Yeah, see, the problem with ours is it's not a tryout. It's not a tryout. It's I'm going to invite the players I want and then pick the guys I want. So some of those guys are already on teams and they're not even qualified to be. Some of them, like think about the team we have. Those guys don't even start on their teams. How are you getting invited to the Olympics, let alone make the actual team? With us, like if you go back to the Dream Team and Dream Team 2, both teams, the first one, we had 9 All-NBA players. The 96 team, all 12 were on the All-NBA. All 12 players were All-NBA that year, right? There was no room for nothing, just here. This is what we got. We're going to win by 50, 60. Now it's like you just... Like guys, it's not that the players don't want to play. It's that, is this going to be a fair shot, or you just bringing me out there and then you're going to cut me? Talking about, it's like let the players figure out who works well with others versus you already picking the team?
It's also very important to have that gel piece whenever you're going to a foreign country for a month and that's all you got riding with you is the people in your locker room. So chemistry is going to play even bigger part than like having a season where, you know, you could trickle things out. You can cut people, you can bring people in, you can sign, you can trade, you can do all these things. And once you build your team on the Olympics, that's who you're stuck with. And it better be a cohesive group because you're about to go to war.
Yeah, when I looked at the 96 team, David Robinson played 6 minutes one game. Gary Payton, I mean, these are all NBA first team and 6 minutes, 8 minutes, right? Like, that's who was coming off the bench not playing. David Robinson in 96 and Gary Payton in 96.
That's who we like to compare ourselves to as well, coming off the bench.
I'm like, you have all NBA first and second team actually coming off the bench. Now you have bench players coming off the bench. And I think it's like, they're happy to sit there. Like, man, forget the happiness, man. We trying to prove points. Like when that 92 team and that 96 team walked on the court, other countries already knew they lost.
It was a
now you got other countries like, they sorry.
You talked about just the challenges too of playing overseas versus playing in the W and how your role overseas might be significantly different than your role in the W. How do you deal with the mental side of that and adjusting to playing these different leagues and kind of what your role is going to be on those squads? You
know, you have to know your worth. And in the W, like, we have money issues, we have roster spot issues. There's people that have been cut for doing absolutely nothing wrong. Like, you're having people that are, adequate in talent, size, positioning, but maybe the money doesn't work out, or maybe this doesn't work out, or maybe that doesn't. So people have been cut, not because you're not good enough, but because of external factors. So whenever you show up to a WNBA team, knowing what you got in your bag, knowing what you can do overseas, that's in the back of your mind, but you're not showing up for you. We're not doing track. We're not playing an individual sport. We're playing a team sport, especially when you show up to an Aces team. I was just coming off of a season. I scored 65 points in a game. I came back and my role was coming off the bench, which was great because you know what? My role coming off the bench helped my team lead to a championship. If I would have been a sore thumb, or if I would have been me, who knows? Like, who knows if I would have been on the team? Who knows if I would have done this, that. So the biggest part about like doing your role is to actually do your role in full. That's not doing your role whenever you feel like doing your role. That's absolutely doing your role. And whatever that looks like for you is going to help you keep your job. It's going to help you, even in life, just being able to accept things that, aren't necessarily what you saw for yourself.
You guys get paid more overseas, right?
I mean, most for bigs. Like, I've been in situations making more overseas than I was making in the W, because guards overseas is like it's a dime a dozen. You got a lot of people who come out of college, might be good guards, but like it's not enough spots, like TP said, in the W. But it doesn't mean that there's just so many of us. So like going overseas, a lot of places also have guards, and there's so many places that are paying like a lot of money for guards too. Because
I was like, why haven't you guys like really stood your ground and said, oh, we're just not going to come, play in the WNBA this year, and we're just going to stay over here until y'all get y'all shit together?
For post players, for example, like in the W, sometimes like I can make 4 times my salary overseas just because my value isn't there in the W, but overseas they're looking for a big that can do exactly what I do, a stretch 4 that can guard 3 through 5. Like, this is like, I'm prime real estate. But then in the W, you are, vet minimum contracts, like carrying the team bags. It's whatever your role looks like. It's just depending on like whatever that league's value is for you.
So we've seen the W make a lot of strides in terms of player salaries, a new CBA, and things like that. Obviously, it's not where it needs to be yet, because a lot of women still have to go overseas to supplement the income like you guys mentioned. But how far away are we from the WNBA being able to break enough bread so that players can avoid going overseas?
Also, like, whenever you think about like the top players in our league, at best, our highest paid player makes what, like $220, I think it is. So that player is the best player in the WNBA. That player could potentially earn, you're probably looking at $800,000 for that player specifically. And it's like, even at the very best of the WNBA can offer that player, they're still taking an overall pay cut from their potential earning of, overall salary. So I think there's still a big pay cut regardless of if you're a rookie or if you're the best player in the world. There's still a lot of gap to cover up. But I do feel like we're definitely trajecting in a good way, especially to see like NBA guys so visible and supportive of the W, and not only showing their support like at games courtside, but on social, saying how they watch the women's game to learn from it. All these things are going to contribute to the growth of our game, because at the end of the day, it takes, people that have a say-so, that know so, the LeBrons, the Steph Currys, the Kevin Durants, all these people that are so visible, all these internet trolls and people that are trying to bring down the WNBA, having these guys counteract what they're saying by just like being positive and saying what they get from the women's game is going to definitely help our league grow. And, that's all we can ask for.
My real thing with the WNBA was this. If you're following the model of the NBA in the sense of, right, moving the league forward, there's no way the league should be where it's at now. It should be. So I look at the Jordan era and then the marketing after that. And the marketing was with high school kids. I think you guys should finally lift the high school. Listen, there's going to be a lot of older guys or women getting cut. That's going to happen. Yeah. But if you make it a one and done or straight out of high school, what you end up having is you have the younger generation is coming in with the younger following, right? The high school girls, the college, those following, the ones that's gonna buy the jerseys, buy the shoes, like when you guys drop shoes, the high school kid, the middle school kids. Right now, there's such a big disconnect that my daughter that's, 13, that group don't know anyone that would be coming into the draft. By the time the player they didn't know, like Juju, by the time she gets to the league, they would be competing against each other, right? Yeah. Or she'll be a senior. She's not into the jerseys and all of that stuff. So there's this disconnect. So when the NBA was making that push, that's when Kevin Garnett, Kobe, Tracy McGrady, Jermaine O'Neal, they were pushing it around that. And you guys have, like, I guess 22 in the graduation, but the Euro girls can come in at 18.
At 19, yeah.
At 18, 19. But they don't have an American following, so nobody really knows them. So, correct. Like, if you would allow who in this year? Like, let's just say Reese.
From college?
Caitlin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Angel Reese,
Paige, and then even Juju in high school. All of those enter the draft. That the revenue is off the chain. Those jerseys are selling. It would be ridiculous. But I think that's one thing. Two, get rid of all those coaches that's 55 and over. Nobody want to see the UCLA cut no more. Not. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. If I'm coaching, I need y'all to shoot 45, 53s. Let's break some records. I want to see the game go. That's where the game is now. Playing that game, like, you got stretch fours. I need my team to be shooting 45 to 53s. Like, let's try to put up 135, 150. That's what, like, think about when your teammate hit, 55?
53.
The whole world, like, wait, what? 53. And that's what they're missing. They're missing that. So they need to change the game to see that, triple double, 20, and 20. And put the awareness around it, because once we come to the game, we love the game. Let your personalities kick in. The WNBA is like wholesome. We want to control the image. It's about women and kids, like kids, right? Like we want to see the beefs. We want to see the beefs. Let the beefs out. Let the personalities kick.
No, but it's accurate. I had to mess with you about that, but I know that you're a troll. But it's valid though, and I think a lot of times too, like, depending on how it's presented or like who says it, people will be like much more upset about it. But it's things that we talk about within the league, and as women, like, the league should do a much better job of, like, y'all should have been getting like beauty deals for women. Like, there should have been skin deals, lipstick,
family,
like
feminine products.
Used to wear the red lipstick. Feminine products, tampons, like, there are so many things that are just like that should just be easy. It's like low-hanging fruit. Like, just go get those because we're women. That should be obvious. And then the other part is a lot of the times men are watching sports for the way women look. It's not like a probably comfortable thing for a lot of people to talk about, but that is the reality. And then also, like, you got to market to try to get more women to watch, which is what a lot of people talk about. Like, they're like, well, a lot of men support the NBA. Y'all need to be getting more women to be supporting the WNBA. And I'm like, these are actual facts, things that people don't want to talk about. But it's like, try to change the demographic of who's watching our league. And there are certain ways to do that. Just like you're talking about with scoring, like that could be a thing that men and women want to see. And kids, like, you want to see a fast-paced game. I want to see somebody score 53 points in a game. I think Asia and Liz are the only two people. They're tied for that record. And maybe like Raquana had 51, but like not a lot of people have scored in the 50s in the league. So like there are definitely things they could be doing to help grow the game and the viewership.
Those owners, I was looking at some of the, someone made a statement like, how many billionaire coaches, or owners? And then I looked at the owners and the billions they make, like, wait, hold on. You guys, $8 billion, that's what you're worth, and this is what your team looks like? Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. If I was a WNBA owner, trust me, my arena is gonna look like it's overseas, right? It's gonna be hectic. It's gonna be like you're gonna come in there, there's gonna be fire pits going on, like this, everybody, like I'm worth $8 billion, right? What I care about money at this point.
Is it gonna be called Gilbert's Arena? Is it gonna be called Gilbert's Arena?
I mean, it could be.
It's a catchy name.
But I don't need it. Listen, you're worth $8 billion. You don't need no. What is the front row seat? $100, $200?
Depends on what team. Depends on what team.
What I need that money for? What I need? Free. Everybody come in. It's free. Let's go. Free. Everything free here. I need to build the atmosphere. Make it a place that it's hard to be. The players want to be here because the attendance builds my wealth. It builds the franchise itself. How many tickets you selling don't really. Your attendance, the way the city shut down when you guys are playing, that's how that model should be going. Like if I got 20,000, I'm trying to get 20,000 people there. I'm sorry, that's me. I don't give a shit if I have to pay. I'm losing money anyway, so I might as well just go on and lose it and make this mug look like it's a popping ass place.
I feel like we could do a much better job of like spending our marketing dollars more efficiently. Like I was recently in Dallas and I was talking to this lady. She walked up to me, like I'm sure we all get, oh, you're so tall, you must play basketball. I was like, yeah, I actually do. Who do you play for? A team in the WNBA. Oh, which team? And I was like, just having a conversation, right? And I was like, there's a WNBA team here in Dallas. And she was like, no. And I was like, yes, girl, since 2017 they've been here. And you've never once heard of the Dallas Wings. That's a problem. I shouldn't be walking around Dallas having to explain to people just merely because of my height that there's a WNBA team. If it's just that simple for someone to pick me out of a crowd and say, you must play basketball. It can't be that hard to market a women's team if people are just randomly pulling me out of a crowd and asking me about it. Like people want to know. Yeah. People care enough to know. I just feel like our marketing dollars aren't being spent as well as they should have. And I don't know what the answer to that. I'm not the marketing guru here, but I just know that the product's there, the talent's there. You have people that care. I've invited random people to a game in a store, never heard of the team before. I was like, I'm gonna leave you 2 tickets to the game. Come on. 4 out of 5 people that I've done that to, 4 bought season tickets. They had such a great time at the game, knew nothing about it, became season ticket holders. But it's just that simple. Like once you get there, and one thing that's really different between the WNBA and the NBA is the mere accessibility. You can walk on court, ask for an autograph. Little kids can shake our hands. We'll walk through the stands, say hi to people. We'll speak. Guys, we all have such a security. There's a blanket of protection, walls of like 6'9" men just around you guys. Nobody's getting through. There's somebody that looks very similar to everyone you watch at TSA. The same security that our TSA has is the same security at our games. we are more willing to talk to people and get to know people, and fans have a much better one-on-one connection with WNBA players than I think throughout, just generally speaking, throughout the NBA as well.
Well, that's facts. They should do. You sold 4 season tickets. You don't get no bonus for that, do you?
Zero bonus.
Oh no, that should be an incentive. You know, like they used to do back in AAU. Who can sell the most season tickets get a break?
You get 20% commission on
Get
each
that
ticket
Walkman.
you sell. Exactly. Not the Walkman. That was the grand prize. That was the grand prize.
Get one of my all-time favorite games, NBA 2K, is going mobile. Now, I remember back in our day, we didn't have the mobile technology to be able to play NBA 2K on the phone, so we had to play on the console. And I used to get that work from a lot of my teammates. Didn't practice as much as I should have, but now that I'm older, I'm looking for redemption, and I'm gonna catch all their fades again and redeem myself. Do you have any favorite 2K moments from currently or back in the day?
Yes, once we went live. Once online came on and we were allowed to talk trash, I was unstoppable.
Really?
Yeah.
You never
I didn't
played
play with myself.
Okay.
No. I wanted to win.
You've never played with yourself?
No. I wanted to win.
A lot of people play with themselves.
I know, because they're losers.
Okay, they lose.
Online, you have the best player online.
Now you can get ready to create your own epic plays with NBA 2K Mobile, the must-play mobile game for basketball lovers who want to conquer the court online. Download NBA 2K Mobile free and start customizing your My Player and Dream Team today. Gil, I gotta ask, which all-time Dream Team are you creating, and are you at the 1?
No. LeBron's at the 1. Rip Hamilton at the 2.
Wow.
Katie's at the 3. Dirk's at the 4. Yao Ming's at the 5.
And this is just for video game purposes.
Yes, sir.
Killers, all killers. Are you at least on that squad?
Huh? No.
I'm saying you're not even making the 12-man roster?
No, I can't make that roster. First
Two-way
of all,
contract?
I don't sub anyway. My players gotta die before I sub them out.
They keep them in the game.
I know how to call my timeouts.
It's a mobile game for real basketball fans. There's always something new to explore, so go ahead and download NBA 2K Mobile free on the App Store or Google Play and use promo code Tatum2K Mobile to redeem an exclusive Jason Tatum Pearl Tier card. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds baller. It's Pearl Tier. It must be nice. That's TATUM2KMOBILE. Peace.
Peace.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Aces, though, and kind of just what they're doing and how they're ahead of the curve and just kind of advancing the game. So you both played on several teams during your NBA careers. I think Candace Parker said she had never had her own locker until coming to the Aces. So how would you compare your experiences with the Aces versus the other teams that you played for?
Just very different. I mean, like, we just got that facility this season, but like, let me see where I played that related. Like, I've had places where we practiced in like a church gym and like our locker rooms were in there. This facility though, like people's response to it, like it was great to see that people like thought it was nice, that it was good, but honestly, that should just be like a professional expectation. Maybe don't have to be as like glamorous as what our gym is, but there should be just like one consolidated place where you get treatment, you have practice, like there's recovery, there's food, and like that should just be like a standard. Like, cause you're a pro now, it shouldn't be that I go from my college experience to the W and it's a downgrade. Like that doesn't make people excited. Players, for one, excited about the league, and then once people find out about it, once fans find out, then it's just like you don't have as much respect for that situation. It's like, how are we gonna respect something when like y'all's ownership and the league doesn't even show y'all proper respect? And it's like, you really can't too much argue with that. So yeah, I think what the Aces have done, what Mark Davis has done, and like the front office here is remarkable to just show like, look, you put money into people, into a product, and yes, we have very talented players on this team, but people will also want to go to more markets if they see that you have things like this. So I love that the ownership here and in a few other markets are like pushing the needle forward, and hopefully it'll either like push some other owners out who don't really want to be having WNBA teams, and it can bring more people in who like see that this is a product that is sellable.
It's a shame that what the Aces are doing is not standard, but the outlier. When we get to a place where the WNBA is standard, the way that the Aces run things, the way that the Aces are professional, the way that they invest in their teams, once that becomes a league standard, then we're going to be able to move everything forward. And like Syd said, Mark Davis has done a really great job investing in women, and like a few other ownership groups. But, there's a lot of room for people to, want to step in with expansion teams. There's a lot of people very, very interested in bringing in a W team, understanding all the costs and the pros and cons of owning one. And with that being said, you can just tell through outsiders wanting to get in so badly that, the product is there. And it's only a matter of time before, we can just weed out the bottom feeders and, get a collective group of ownership groups that, really believe in each team and will, invest the way that Mark has.
When you talk about what's going to end up happening is a lot of free agents, big free agents, are going to want to come over there because of how the building is and how the atmosphere is. And once it becomes so dominant that they're winning 4 or 5, other owners are going to say, well, shit, we're going to have to step our game up. Like, my daughter just went to Louisville visit. The arena, they built it for a WNBA team.
Really?
Yeah, so it was built like if they got a WNBA team there. So that facility holds 23,000. So that the girls basically have this advanced locker room. Like their locker room is better than some, NBA technically.
College locker room.
Right? They got the bars, they got 4-level I'm sitting there like, how did you guys get that? It's like it's supposed to be a WNBA team, and we're just benefiting off of no one coming here. But they get 10,000 fans a night, and I'm sitting here like, okay. So there should be some expansion going on. There needs to be, more teams. And if you got to spend money to make money, right? It's like everybody's trying to go off of that old Donald Sterling, right? Spend bare minimum and try to get this high reward. That's not how it works, right? Spend your money, build it, they will come. I don't know how y'all cap works, but you see that shit don't work in the NBA. Every time they try to cap them off, there's an owner like, I don't care about none of that. Shit, I'm gonna spend my money. You ain't gonna tell me how to spend my money. I can tell you that for sure. But that needs to be the same model. Like, if your pride is winning, if Las Vegas right now, every time I go into free agent, under the table deals, listen, I'm gonna get the players I want to get. You're not gonna tell. I don't know how many billion I got. You're not gonna tell me how a $50,000 check right here, and you make 60 on the books. Listen, I'm gonna make it work. Goddamn, we gonna win 10 championships, and they're gonna be sitting here like, how did they get you for 60?
If you ever do get a WNBA team, I guarantee you're gonna be flagged just based off of this one interview.
They're
gonna look into you for sure.
They gotta approve it first. You gotta approve it for how you can't. Hey, how you gonna find $60 grand under the shoe box? Hey,
Gil, you gotta hit him with the basic instinct. Why would I say I would do all that? Then go do it.
Do it. Yeah,
I'll making myself the criminal. No,
I'm serious. Like it's. You got to offset anything. Like right. You have other businesses. Mm-hmm. Right? You have other businesses. We can open up some corporations. Come on. I don't know why we be playing games. Why they be playing? Y'all think these players be leaving $60 million on the table to go some? Hell no. You think Kawhi left $250 to come play 154? No. They're going to figure out. There's going to be some checks and some foundations opened up. Somebody's getting something. I'm not leaving damn near $70 million to leave Canada to come here. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah, I'm on. I'm trying to build something.
Yeah.
Also in the women's game, like I went to LSU. Our facilities at LSU are top of the line. Between women's basketball, football, baseball, softball, gymnastics, you name it, they invest into their athletics. And when you show up and you see the facilities, they honestly speak for themselves. And you know what's even more crazy than that? I haven't been back on campus, and I graduated 10 years ago. I haven't been back on campus, and they weren't renovating. There's always renovation. There's always one thing to be better than the Bamas of the world and the A&Ms of the world. Sorry, Syd. But everybody's just doing what they can do to move up in the world. So it's really hard to take for Angel Reese, for example, be like, hey, we know you're making all this money off court. You have all these deals going on. You're winning championships. How about this? Hear me out. You can get drafted to the WNBA. You can make a nice $67,000 for your first 4 years. It's only for 4. And then we'll see what we can do from there. How about that? So that's what we're doing right now is we're asking kids, especially with all these off-court deals going on right now, right, to leave, especially with COVID years, transfer year, what have you. Say, hey, come to our league a little early. We could use your talent. We could use your following. We could use all these things. But you're probably going to take like an $800,000 to $1.5 million pay cut if you do so, because you're not tapping into NIL money anymore. You're tapping into professional budgets with all these corporations. So it's a tough transition.
Yeah, they said the Haley
Van Lith, yeah.
500,000.
Yeah.
500 grand to transfer.
Well, I wish we had NIL.
Did she have to think about it or what?
No, I'm saying, how do you if you're the W, how are you competing? That's a problem. If college basketball, women's basketball, can say, hey, we'll give you $500,000 to transfer for 1 year. That she make what she's gonna make in 1 year. That's her whole rookie salary for 4. If that,
like half, right? That's only half.
She won't make that. She won't make that in how many years?
Oh no, she not
in WNBA.
4. I mean, not even half. She'll have to be drafted in top 5 to automatically get a shoe deal with well, we're Nike now, so with Adidas. That's how it goes, TP, right? You get it with Adidas, and then it would depend then on how much money they're giving you, because sometimes it's like you're getting the like what you can spend in store, like the stipend for clothes and all that. I don't know how much money they're actually touching. I don't know about physical checks and what that amount is, but like,
what I will say, the W does
or
have time on their side. You can't stay in college forever, so eventually eligibility will run up, and then the W's just in there. Look, we're your best option. Come on in. We'll give you this.
Yeah, but also you're gonna have to see too, though, or you're gonna have to see how you match up to WNBA players as well. Because the reality is just that a lot of us, we didn't have NIL in school, but now you're gonna leave college and you're gonna see how your game actually bodes in the W, and like that could be a real transition for a lot of players. Like you might be killing it in college, and that's the same for the NBA. Like, but that does not mean that you're about to go in the WNBA and excel.
There's also not a lot of roster spots to be able to just sit at the back of that roster and be able to. You have 1 through 9 or 10. Some people get into 10 playing. That leaves 2 players that are at the end of your roster. If you can carry 12 to develop and to get up to speed.
Yeah, my point is that I think a lot of college players have an idea right now about the WNBA and like saying that it's a downgrade for a lot of reasons, and some of those things are true, but it's like you're also going to have to take that same attitude and come bring your like skill to the court, and like the players right now are not going to forget you saying like, the WNBA, I'm too, whatever. There's a lot of people who they got, some of them college players are going to have to talk to back when they get in the league, and people are going to be going at your head.
It's inevitable. Like, I don't get why somebody's going to talk down on the W when like that is your future, quite literally. Unless you plan on being, I guess, one of the first few women to try out for an NBA team.
If you want to keep playing,
that is 100% your future. And if you don't like it, then there's no other league unless you want to take your talents overseas, you know? So eventually you're going to be able to go in the W, and then you got to put your money where your mouth is. And, you know, there's a lot of people that like come in the league and don't understand the vast difference between college and pro game, the speed, the physicality, the strategy, the amount of time they use for scouting. All these things are on a whole nother level. And the crazy thing is you have to pull it out of yourself. No one's going to be babysitting you. Your coaches aren't going to be checking your iPad times and making sure you're watching film. You either do it or you don't. And if you don't, you get cut. So it comes down to that.
That's in the NBA, the young player has the advantage. Because, you know, when you're coming in at 18, 19, we don't expect you to be like, okay, so like any sport, right? By the time you're 3 years in, you should be hitting your stride. So what ends up happening is with the NBA, you try to get them in as early as possible. So if they get in at 18, 19, by the time they're 22, they're all-stars. Now think about if they're coming in at 22. By 25, they're all-stars. That's a big difference, right? So by the time, NBA player, if he comes in at 18, 21, 22, he's an all-star. By 25, you know what I mean? He's probably a 3-time, 4-time all-NBA player. So
Superstar.
no matter if, we talk shit in our league, right? Coming out of college, saying whatever he want, he knows he has time. Like, he knows 3 years, I'm gonna get the ropes and then I'm coming for all y'all big fellas. Y'all is, but that should be highlighted. When them Reese's come in yapping and y'all get to say, all right, we giving you fit, we gonna give you a 45 isolation, put it on the block. That's where TV needs to focus. Like, y'all don't, it's too clean. For a sport that's probably rougher than the NBA.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you hit, know what I'm saying? Is if you hit
Gilbert
me in
wants
the
a WNBA
NBA,
club.
I'm falling and crying. Right? I want something to be called. Y'all are sitting there throwing elbows. It's a little rougher. The chirping is more. But there's always texting. Y'all trying to calm it down. Like, let it go. The TV has to see it. We got to see it. Like,
Let it be.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Like
they want
Instagram. Y'all
to be
Instagram.
It's like, let people
I was
talk.
seeing like
let people talk.
two WNBA players go at it, showing like how they crossed each other up overseas. Like, girl, you actually can't guard me. Look at this, and then they post it, and then now you got to go to her page and see what she posts. And I'm like, this is better. This is TV, right?
We just want to see beefs. But that's all. I mean, no matter what sport it is, we just want to see people beef with each other. That's why we love the college tourney, all this shit. Tony Yayos and all that.
It's true.
For next year's WNBA script, we're going to add more beef. We plan out before the year, and we plan out all injuries. We plan out beef. We plan out
more beef.
Who's going to win.
It's just the antics. Like,
we got you.
What made college was because Caitlin was going around like this, and this girl can't shoot. She's turning her back. Like yes. I love the disrespect, the cockiness of it. Turn around on her. Right. That makes you, because now you feel for the girl from South Carolina. You're like, go take her, go shoot her. Then she comes down, hit a 3. Like, oh my God. Right. You start. It makes it makes us be a part of it. Right. When you have AR-15, you too small.
Yeah.
Bro, you got 2 points, but we with you. He too small. You got 2 points, but he like that's what the game is missing. It's like, come on, just let him loose, ref. Yeah, the entertainment part of it.
You know what else the W needs though? The Syd TP Show.
Entertainment, yeah.
And we got an exclusive sneak peek for y'all right now.
You could help us become the faces of the league. Oh.
Everybody in the place, now we going on.
This girl right here, that's my best friend, Sydney Colson.
And this tall glass of water is Theresa Plaisance.
Yeah.
Same action. Give me a repeat.
We are on a mission.
You got to become faces of the league.
That only we can complete.
Do your thing, now we going off.
These pickles are giving my mouth a sensation that only my mouth could explain.
Keep it going on.
We're athletes.
We're artists. Y'all know me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
We're media moguls.
Have you guys ever thought about writing a book?
Everybody in the place, now we going.
And we're one shot away from world domination. Whether the show does well or it flops, there's really no way to lose in this because we don't get embarrassed by anything.
The Syd TP Show.
All right, I see Gina Paradiso out there making a bunch of cameos. Okay, shout out Gina.
Big G.
Trying to get her. I don't know if her acting is up to par though. I'm gonna have to really watch and see. Give her some notes.
Yeah,
and critique.
She did it.
Okay,
She killed it.
But let's talk a little bit about the show. So, how did the Syd and TP Show come together, and what can viewers expect from this season?
Man, just like we told y'all, we started clicking on that Phoenix away trip, and I was supposed to be doing a podcast with Together, And I told Gina, I was like, look, I think like it was like a weekend. I was like, look, TP and I are teammates, as you know, but like this girl is funny. Like I'm gonna stay in her ear because I think that we might be able to do something instead of me doing a podcast. So time went by, a couple months. I was like, yeah, G, it's got to be her, and we need to do something like on video so that people can see like our physical comedy, like can see the height difference, like which makes things like funny too. You know, a lot of different comedies will have that, like the interracial stuff. Like it's just very different than anything people have seen from WNBA players and from like just comedy in general for women. And so Kayla Johnson at Together was the person who was working with me, or talking to me for a long time. And they made a pitch, Together did, Fubo, Maximum Effort, I believe. And, you know, they let us know it was going to be a show. And we were just, from there, things moved pretty quickly. We went to LA to shoot like a week before training camp started. And then we shot for a week during
Pure bliss.
All-Star. And it was just.
No, I think it's going to be great.
It is what y'all just saw. Yeah, for real.
You guys would be the only. Would you be the only WNBA players? Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's people with documentaries and stuff, but this is the first. Some people are even saying first female athletes with their own TV show over all of sports. So this is kind of crazy.
No, I mean because it needs it. This is what you need.
Right.
This is exactly what you need because you get to push the narrative, the true narrative of your sport.
Yeah.
They get to see who you really are. They get to see what you do. Even when you go overseas, we get to follow you now, right? You know, we get to follow you here and then follow you there. So that means you guys both got to play on the same team.
Package deal.
But that's what I'm saying. So it really gives us an insight on female sports, what you guys go through on a day-in, weekly basis. So but I've seen it. You know, like if you look at some of my comments, I was already on it. Like, oh man, you're gonna be good for TV. This is crazy.
Women's basketball is in good hands. If it's in Syd and TP's hands, women's basketball is for sure in great hands. We're gonna push it. We're gonna push it forward. In the funniest
Y'all
way
got to
possible.
get that season 2. Tell them the price of the brick has gone up.
Not
The
wrong.
brick is up.
Gina good at that. She gonna get you that back.
And you go viral. Hey, listen, do what I do. You go viral one time. We renegotiate. Oh yeah. Listen. I don't care how many numbers on my contract. 2 years, 3 years. If I pop, I'm not coming to work, or we got to talk new money.
So we got a couple more questions for y'all. But in your new series, you're both trying to become the new faces of the W. I think it's safe to say right now, there's a lot of debate, but A'ja Wilson, in my opinion, is the current face of the league, puts the fun in fundamentals. What's A'ja like as a teammate, and what makes her game so special?
A'ja is such a special player. She has pro size, pro talent, what have you. A'ja can do anything. She has a 6'5", 6'6" frame, but her skill set is of 6 foot, whatever, guard skills you have. But the best thing about A'ja's game, in my opinion, is her timing. A'ja has flawless timing. You will think that she is going to be late on help side, and she gets her hand on the ball, sends it out of bounds, and it's a done deal. A'ja has such a high ceiling as well. I feel like she is barely tapping into her potential as good as she is today. A'ja is phenomenal. She's also a really great teammate and absolutely hysterical. If you can ever catch A'ja digging on Syd and I, it's one for the comic books. But she is absolutely hysterical, and just someone with her personality and her character as well. You just want to see all the blessings and accolades go her way.
I agree with that. She's just like one of the most humble superstars I've ever met. Like I love that her agent and her team have gotten her to do like so much crossover stuff and be in like pop culture and be like, because we used to see more like Black athletes be on sitcoms and stuff in the past, or be in music videos, stuff like that. So I like that she has like that crossover appeal and that they're taking advantage of that. And just like her game, like TP said, A'ja is going to continue to get better. And that's like a really scary thing because she could realistically win MVP for like several years in a row. And not that, like, I'm sure like Stewie will always be in contention. Like there will be some other players, but she isn't even at the top of her game right now. She's 27 or 28. And she's just going to keep getting better. Like she don't have a consistent three right now. When Asia has like a consistent 3-point shot, she scored 53 and I think she had 1 3 that game. So like that's nuts. And she plays on both sides of the ball. So right now I'm low-key doing her MVP like pitch too because they playing in her face. But like she's a spectacular player, just like humble, great teammate. And
Syd, what was that stat that you read off to me about per 36 minutes? Like what Asia?
It was something crazy. Like just the 3 players right now,
absolutely,
like that they have to become MVP is like Asia, Breonna Stewart, Alyssa Thomas. All of them are having spectacular seasons. Alyssa Thomas is getting a ton of triple doubles, doing really well for her team. Stewie is being Stewie, but Asia's doing all that she's doing. She has pretty much higher points, blocks, steals, not assists, but like percentage, everything in like 100 and something less minutes than the next player. And in less time, like less minutes and less field goal attempts. So it's like very crazy to see what she's accomplished.
So we always talk about the GOAT debate, on the men's side, and always boils down to LeBron, who's the GOAT, and then, Kobe, MJ, Kareem, whoever else, you want in the mix. But
Kareem.
Gil, show Kareem. You disrespected UCLA too much on this show.
I'm just saying, when was the last time somebody said Kareem as the GOAT?
Real people who know basketball respect. Come on, Gil.
But when? If Michael Jordan was the best player on the planet in 92, when did someone say Kareem?
Before all of that. But
in 92.
In 92.
So
before they coined Jordan with his 2 rings, best player to ever play. Shit, best player ever live. Like, okay, shit. The other 4 rings was just cherries on the top. He was.
They hate on the West Coast. They hate on you. Was hating on the UCLA cut, a very good cut, I might add. Okay, so good he got us on that.
Very good.
But hating on Kareem. But so Diana Taurasi was voted GOAT by the fans. But in your expert opinions, who is the GOAT?
I love DT. I've always Maya Moore was it for me, like. Maya Moore, and like just honestly, just the way that she left the game too. She just was killing it, doing her thing, winning several championships. And just like, all right, I gotta go get my man. Like, I'm about to go and I'm not coming back. I'm about to just start another life. Like she didn't even care. But on the court, like she was doing some crazy stuff. And I remember playing against her in high school. And I'm from Houston. She was in Atlanta. But, like, about people's rankings and stuff. So, like, I knew that she was number 1. And once we were playing against them, I was like, I understand. And then she got better from there. So, to me, like, Maya Moore was tough. But I loved, like, the Comets team, too. So, like, I'm always, like, cape for them, too. That Comets team was crazy. So, Maya and somebody from the Comets probably.
I don't know. So it's a very hard decision. Obviously, you have Diana goated for sure, Maya goated for sure. But there's like generational players that I feel like have changed the game through their skill set. Candace has absolutely changed the game. And it's different players like that. So I'm just going to go a little new school here
the game too.
With my go. And I think I might say Stewie might be just one of the best players to ever do it because of her size, her build, her lankiness, the way that she can play really 2 through 5 if necessary, and the way that she can just tap into so many different things. And then the way that you have to guard Stewie, there's not really like, when you get the Sky report on Stewie, it's like, don't let her get to her first or second or third move. Make her get to her 4th move, and then we're in good shape. So it's players that like you have to guard just so differently that are so unorthodox that I just feel like are changing the game. And I think that Stewie's skill set might be top for me. And I'm just going to stick with the post player too, because we have a lot of guards being mentioned. So Stewie, I guess.
What about, because
whenever
I ask someone in the older generation, so I ask like Lisa Leslie, and they say who should have been the GOAT, but because the WNBA didn't click. So they were saying how Cynthia Cooper was basically one of the best women that played. Like when she came at 34, like she wrecked shop, like championship, MVP. So I don't really, know when because of, some of those girls' careers at the beginning when it first started. But Lisa Leslie did say it's either DT or someone like she said Cheryl Swoops, Moore, who else did she say?
Cheryl was crazy. Cheryl,
Just all of them.
Tamika Catchings. She said Tamika Catchings.
Tamika Catchings.
She had like a little group.
that's why I said the comments. I was like, yeah, it's like Cheryl.
Longevity always, I think I was a senior with Taurasi.
Well, for y'all,
Yeah, I think I was a senior with Taurasi.
Yeah.
So, the fact that she's still playing, lets you know she's been in it for a long time. So just those stats and the accolades, I mean, you can't touch it.
And the fact that she's still playing at this high of a level and what she's still putting on the floor, the product that she puts on the floor is still outrageous. Like, it's not her younger self. She's obviously had to adapt and play her game a little bit differently, but the way that her mind works, the way that she sees the game, the way that she still can put up numbers the way that she does is absolutely incredible.
And no one talks about it.
You know what else I need to talk about, though? The Syd TP Show. Dropping on Maximum Effort.
What?
September 18th. We appreciate y'all taking the time to pull up. We're going to be watching. We're going to get on for season 2. We're going to make it work out. Together in Fubo, we're trying to big time, though. They were not trying to be flexible with the schedules. I know you had training camp. I know you had the season going on. But I was ready to pull up whenever, but it's all good. I digress. Well, we appreciate y'all pulling up. This has been another episode of No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. We'll be back with more very soon.